It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you'd put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Welcome back. Maybe that was a little early. Welcome back to the Resupply with me, Guy Next Door.
Me, very professional DK.
And me, Van.
And
bring-
Malcolm.
And Malcolm, yeah, that's fair.
Bringing you your furry double tap of all things Space Marines and laser tag. Hello, gentlemen. Very nice to see you. What's this? We have a show? Multiple weeks in a row? That's crazy.
Yeah, one might almost think that we were semi-professional about our work or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
speaking of semi-professional, we should have, if we had it over again, we should have started this show how last show ended with you mid-ramble.
Are we having a show next week? No, not next week. Wait, yes.
Credits. Yeah. It would have been, good for continuity, but I digress. Hello chat, nice to see you guys. Hope you guys are well. Hope everyone's had a good week. Hope you've managed to get
Make
out and
more
do
lights go boom.
laser tag stuff. GRB Comics. Thank you very
That
much
would
for the
be
follow.
nice.
Appreciate you. Well, we got a lot of stuff. Them with the sub. 51 months, currently on a 50-month streak. It's gonna rip your legs.
Better than me in both cases.
It's valid.
We've got a guest waiting in the wings, and we'll get to her shortly. But we got some housekeeping to take care of first. First things first. Did you guys have a good week? Have you had a good week?
I mean, it depends upon your definition of good. I got paid today, so that's
Nailed it.
fine.
Nailed it.
Other than that, the week has been pretty average.
Damn. That's all right. You got paid. That's all that matters.
Yeah, work is work. I had some good soccer games, and I got paid today. So
yeah.
there are worse things.
Just
Is basically what
rattling
he's
off the
down to.
greatest hits. It's great. You have a good week, DK? You have a good week?
If I have to hear one more weather report or watch one more newscast that use the words bomb cyclone or atmospheric river, I might just lose it.
I watched a foosball game last night, and it looked very snowy. At least in Ohio, it looked very snowy. I assume that's happened a lot through like the Midwest and whatnot. I don't know. Is Ohio the Midwest? Is that quintessential
Yes.
Midwest?
Yeah, that counts to the Midwest. Yeah. I mean, it has nothing to do with the weather phenomena we're experiencing on the West Coast.
What's happening on the
Ohio
West
gets
Coast?
their own the aforementioned bomb cyclone and atmospheric river, which they say are terms that they've used for like, oh yeah, meteorologists been talking about that for years. Like, pretty sure you guys just came up with that because it was a slow news day. Like, we're gonna call it rain. Rain, that's boring. Let's call it a fucking bomb cyclone. Then people will finally pay attention to that.
Yeah,
Like,
especially TSA. We had the term atmospheric river bandied about around the times we had our floods. So, yeah, that's very triggering for me actually. So thank you.
If there may be some of that going on along the West Coast as well.
Is it
There
pretty bad?
Oh, there were flood warnings in a lot of places. I know Seattle
Shit.
got pretty drenched the other day. Parts of Northern California are pretty underwater. It's been raining quite steadily here today, but not super heavily, so I'm not overly concerned.
That all sounds like pro climate change propaganda coming from your way, and I won't have it here on this show. No,
Not on my good Christian podcast.
Science be damned. I was having a chat with the Broforce earlier. I don't know if anyone, how many people watched the Tyson versus Paul boxing fiasco that was last week.
Debacle, yeah.
I was.
I only watched the memes.
Yeah. I had a thought. I was pooping earlier, and I was like, you know what? I'm really mad. I wonder if I can sue Netflix or sue someone. I want to sue someone for fraud.
So funny you mentioned that. Like, there's actually been a class action lawsuit filed against Netflix for how much buffering there was during the live stream.
That's so funny.
So that is actually legitimately a thing that is happening. Now,
this is like the definition of first world problems right here. My internet didn't load fast enough for me to watch a YouTube douchebag beat up a senior citizen.
Hashtag pre-show poop. If I could, I'd do the show from my bathroom. It's where I do most of my best work. But, terms of service. Let's move on from that, though. I want to give a real quick shout out. It's the death of another Laser Force staple. Wellington Laser Force, based here in New Zealand, has called it quits after, almost 30 years, I think? It really, really sucks. Cheers. Raise them for him.
Pour one out for the homies, but not really, because this is carpet.
Yeah, we're inside. Yeah. Again, the benefits of doing it from the throne. I could pour one out. Or, anyway.
Please don't.
Yeah. Push one out for Wellington Laser Force. But, yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, that site, I mean, for a lot of us, has been dead for a long time anyway. So, but it sucks to lose a New Zealand legacy site. That one is the OG. So, if someone's in the market to buy some Gen 8 equipment for apparently very cheap, make some phone calls, because I got some unsubstantiated figures sent my way, and there was a very, very low number for Gen 8 equipment. So
yeah, I think I've probably seen / heard the same numbers that you have, and when I heard them, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
or 30 some odd Gen 8 packs that are only a year old, it's only that much.
Yeah.
So
If anyone's
As
looking
they
for...
say in RoboCop, I'd buy that for $1.
that's pretty close to what they're what
It
they're
is
asking.
Apparently someone owes somebody important some money, so who knows.
So hey, Detroit Laser Force, get on it. You can finally have Gen 8.
Dude, actually, that's not a bad idea. Like, somebody let them know, because yeah, from my understanding,
Believe me, they know.
Oh yeah,
they're aware.
That's a good point.
They've been
That's a good point.
consider the source of the information that I think both of us have.
Of course,
they know.
Yeah,
they're aware.
Yeah, so that's a real shame, but like, hopefully something else comes along. Hopefully someone down there decides, you know what, we love laser tag. Let's do it properly. So we'll see how we go.
Let's do it someplace where they're not giving $85 infringements for being over the 90 minutes of free parking that's allowed in the particular parking lot that serves the customer.
It's good to know that the scourge of rent seeking also lives on the fair island of New Zealand.
I mean, I would imagine that's one thing, but like, scratch at the surface a little more to find out.
It strikes me as here's a nice convenient excuse. Just like how like COVID was definitely a nice convenient scapegoat for a lot of businesses that were kind of struggling. Like, oh, thank God, I can take that big old payout from the government and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's a good exit strategy.
I don't know what I could do, guys. It was the pandemic, not the fact that we've been in debt for the last 12 years.
We did get to play laser tag here locally this week. We had a good members night. Highlight of the evening was probably Morange's 6 nuke game. And almost lost.
Chat right here.
Almost lost that game. It was.
Wait,
he came as close to losing as is physically possible.
Well, so I don't know if you can watch the replays, right? Of these games, is that right? Can we...
let's see if the replay beta works.
Beta. If you have some time, you got 15 minutes. Watch the replay beta of that match and just see exactly how close they came to losing that fight. Considering Morange 5-chained and his immediate exclamation as he came out of the maze after the game was, that is a perfect example of how not to play Commander. I thought that I would flex on that game, and it went poorly. It's awesome. It's such a good game to watch. Definitely go back and watch the replay, and you'll see very close to the end, him and opposing commander Nodal battling it out to see who could eliminate the other one at the end. It's awesome. Really, really good game to watch. Also, don't 5-chain. Don't stack your nukes. The meta's changed. It's a poor strategy, and you only do it if you're, I think there's 2 reasons to hold off on nuking. One is that you want the other team to have a longer amount of time playing the game, and 2, you're flexing. So yeah,
I think those 2 are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, and both things can go horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, and it almost did, and I was hoping it would. I was so hoping that they were going to lose that game. It would have been so funny.
So what we call karma.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It genuinely would have been.
On to some not laser force but laser tag news. Not that link. Goodness me, that was a close one. The Zone Worlds is being hosted here in Auckland this week. I think it starts tomorrow. If you want to check it out on Twitch, go over to that link there. Give them a follow. Please give them a follow, and you'll be able to watch the live stream of the Zone Worlds. Our Brisbane Zone Taipan. No, it wasn't that kind of link. It was a tech link that I can't put out here because it'll cause issues from shenanigans from you guys. I'm looking right at you, chat. You jerks.
So what I'm hearing is we need to stage our own Basilbot invasion of Zone Worlds.
Oh, we could do that. Jump on there, give Taipan some love. I'm gonna maybe head up there today and go kind of schmooze with some of the crowd. See if I can convert some of their players into playing a better game. No, into playing a different game.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Why are we showing a shoulder? Get the fuck out of here." But yeah, it should be a good time. I'm gonna go up and see if I can bridge the relationship gap between Laser Force and Zone a little more. Or even though that, you know, in the past I'm probably one of the worst at
Denigrating them, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Thank you.
But you got that charm, so that
Yeah.
should be able to overcome it.
This face? No, not that face.
Yeah, that
Boyish good looks.
That's right. Right. We like I said at the top of the show, we got a guest. We want to talk with her because she's like super interesting.
As opposed to the three of us who are not.
Speaking of people who've been converted to a better laser tag game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming to the show all the way from Loveland, Colorado.
Loveland, Colorado.
Please welcome Lizzy Lizard.
Yo.
Hello. How the heck are you?
Here, I'm doing good. Finally off for fall break. I'm so incredibly free as long as I ignore all the projects I have due on Sunday.
I'm glad
As you
because
do.
we've been like you've been circled on our like need to have on as a guest for a long time actually. Well, since Nats. We find Lizzy like super interesting. Let's bring her on for a chat. So thank you for joining us on the show. Appreciate it.
My 5 p.m. on Friday class got canceled because
Yes.
Thanksgiving break.
Yay for no education.
Yeah, suck at class.
Who needs to learn?
GBR Comics says that's my Pookie. I assume
Hi, Gabe.
I assume they're in your club. Let's start there, shall we? So you attend Colorado University.
Yep. University of Colorado at Boulder. So see you, Boulder.
See you, Boulder.
Let's go, Buffs. Sorry to any CSU people out there.
What's your club? What club did you're the president?
Yep, I'm the president of the Lasertag and Pancakes Club. Indeed, it's very exciting. It's just a silly little social club where we get to basically drag all the freshmen out and say, "Come socialize, come learn how to hang out with people."
That's low key, like, and you say it's silly, but like that's something really meaningful wrapped up in a delicious pancake laser tag sandwich, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been super cool, especially this semester. Going from the first event where everyone's very new to the club to like seeing it later in the semester now. We just had our last event on Saturday. It's like people are talking to each other now. They're hanging out. This is wild. Instead of just like sitting there awkwardly trying to figure out how to have a conversation with another person.
How many active people do you guys actually have in the club at this point?
I think we have a Discord. We had to switch to Discord because our email list was not, in fact, effective. We're currently
It's funny how that works.
at 1,000, I think, members in our Discord, and we pull about 60 to 70 every week to come play laser tag, or every other week.
What in the actual fuck?
Well, we might as well shut the podcast down. Stop listening to us. Lizzy's going to handle the recruiting of new players from now on because we're clearly not up to stuff. So good night, everybody.
Yeah, it's been super cool. We've had all of our events have been full, and all of our events have had new people, which like even from last year, we started hitting the point where we had like 40, 50 people showing up, which is still a lot, but it's a lot less than like the 60 we should be bringing. But this year we're full. Keep bringing in new people. Keep dragging engineers out. Sometimes I'll go to the people I dorm with and go, "All right, you're gonna come with me," and they go, "I guess I'm coming with you."
When so did you start the club? You're like founder?
No, I didn't. I think it was founded about like 7 or 8 years ago by our Lord and Savior Frankie. But
Oh wait,
he's
no.
great.
And
He's come to work on it this year. It's pretty cool. Just seeing how much it's grown from like him and his like 5 friends going and playing laser tag to I think the largest social student org at CU Boulder.
that's
Yeah, that's pretty
That-
crazy.
awesome.
So I get, and this is my fault because I never asked. You know, the few times I've seen you at the members nights or at Nats, like, but for some reason I always assumed that it was that it was literally like a small, like maybe like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 person club, because in my head, because like that's like what members nights tend to cap out at,
I was
like,
like, just because that's the best we could do, let's not
Yeah.
saddle the
yeah,
model of all of reality with
We
that
have no
limitation.
pancakes. That's our problem.
yeah, and
Clearly.
I'm literally just sitting here like in awe of the fact that you've got, you know, a 1,000-person Discord, and you're consistently being able to bring out, you know, 50, 60 people for your events. I mean, that is so fantastic on so many levels. Just
Yeah, it's so exciting, and especially now that we're so big. I talked with someone who leads the campus tours for CU Boulder, and they've literally have it scripted in where they take all the students, the incoming students, on like tours. Hey, there's this club, so I think that's where a lot of our membership comes from. But it's also been really cool because a lot of other colleges in the area. So I think like UNC, CSU, Mesa, they've all been looking at starting clubs for laser tag too. So fingers crossed, intramural laser tag.
that would be the gift that just keeps on giving in the best possible ways.
Endless supply of fresh meat.
BRB, guys. I have some jobs to apply for in Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah, faculty can play, right? You guys are allowed to join the student clubs? No?
I mean, they gotta have some kind of. They have gotta have
Faculty
advisors,
advisors.
right? Yeah.
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 I should be able to at least get release time for that as well. Like that should be like one of my professional obligations, is overseeing that. So
Can you
Yeah.
somehow like convince them to just pay for you to go to Nats as a liaison? Like, is that how that works?
We've tried. We currently don't have like the membership for competitive tag because it is a little harder to get people out there in like a weeknight. But my dream, my silly little dream, is to be able to start sending teams to things like East, West, maybe 26 if we're really lucky for
Yeah.
Nats.
that'd be
But
cool.
there is funding and there is opportunities there.
So when you get 60 people to sign up for a laser tag event, are you mostly playing laser ball, or is that more just of a general laser tag social night?
Unfortunately, that's one of the things about being bigger is we can't run small game modes because how we do it is we book out tag from 9 to midnight on a Saturday night, and we
Right.
just play. I think we have to split people into 2 groups, so we have like
Right.
35 to 40 in each group if we're at like maximum capacity. But then it's games like Colors, Shadows, ones that can run in a big group. Sometimes we've come up with a very silly little game mode that a lot of the Space Marines at Loveland are very, very incredibly fond of, called Laser Ball Mayhem. It's the
Okay.
scorecards look wild. It's 30-person laser ball. We use all
Good
3
Lord.
floors, and each team starts with a ball.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna say, you have to have like multiple balls in a game like that, right?
Yep, each team gets a ball. We use all 3 floors.
All
It's
3 floors. I was gonna
all 3
ask you
floors.
because normally they play just
First floor
on
only.
the first floor,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So, goodness me, that's like, you ever see those videos where they put all the ping pong balls on mouse traps and just let them go? That that reminds me
That's
of
yeah.
that.
That's a vague approximation of what it looks like because you'll be able to go and get the ball and you're like, well, shit, I gotta start running down the ramp. And then the moment you set foot on the ramp, you get tagged down. You're like, well, I guess I'm gonna go hold 3rd floor again.
I got the ball. I don't have the ball anymore.
Does it work the same like when somebody scores, you have to reset, or is it just like constant?
It's once both balls are scored, so it's like it'll
Oh,
show you on your phaser. There's 2 balls in play, and it's like, oh, 1 ball's been scored. Play continues, and then once they're both in, then
Oh,
you have to run all the way back downstairs and
okay.
retag the goal. It's very fun trying to get 15 to 20 people to tag the same goal.
Yeah, especially because just not only the space, but occasionally it's just those weird reflect shots that happen underneath those bases. I can imagine occasionally trying to tag. It's like, nope, I missed it. Nope, I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no getting out fast in that game mode.
Man, the queues to use like your oxygen machines must be massive after a game like that.
Well, they're used to it, unlike you, Steve.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I almost died when I came to Colorado.
They're all prime athletes who train at altitude, so that way they are among the most elite laser tag players in the world.
What about this? Doesn't scream prime athlete.
All of it.
Oh.
I don't know. It looks perfect to me.
Thank you.
So is that like your kind of scouting night to see, okay, well, who are the players who are really into this, who maybe would be interested in coming out on a weeknight for Laser Ball or Space Marines or one of the other advanced game modes?
It's kind of I've been trying to turn it into recruiting. I got into competitive laser tag, so now I'm trying to get the rest of the club into it, but it's a little bit of a hard sell to come drive an hour, pay $20 and play laser tag for 5 hours on a weeknight when you definitely have homework.
I didn't hear anything unattractive about that sentence at all. So other people are just crazy and they don't know what's good for them.
Yeah, I have hope though, because we're working with LLT now, trying to set up like competitive nights on Friday to run games like Small Laser Balls and Space Marines.
On a Friday night, wow.
They must be so excited to have like, because you guys are playing every Saturday or like every other Saturday or.
It's about every other Saturday.
Yeah.
We just physically can't get enough funding to do it more often.
Still, like...
even so, like being able to say, yeah, we're gonna book you out for 3 hours every other Saturday, and we're gonna bring 50 to 60 people.
That's the dream client.
Yeah, that really is the dream client right there.
We're making Jeff Willie a very rich man.
This is why LLT stays open and the rest of these sites just shut down.
Yeah.
They just don't have the captive audience that LLT has.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we'll just get all the summer camps plus all the universities. They'll just give us steady clients. Like, okay. Sounds pretty good.
Do you guys have club merch?
No, not yet. We've been working on designing some. That's the one when we get more funding.
Yeah, right.
We'll start doing that.
When you do, can you send me a link? Because I very much would like to buy some club merch. I'm a sucker for collectibles.
I thought you were about to volunteer to make the clothes.
I mean, I could do that too, but you guys don't. We'll talk.
Yeah, I think one of our members of leadership is like a visual design student, so he's been working on some of the designs, and we're trying to figure out how to like make it work for the club.
Yeah.
Right.
I almost put on my sales guy hat, which you can buy now at our merch. No. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited at the prospect of a club like yours really like breathing a whole different revenue stream and life into a site. Like, I think it's something that could and should be replicated all over the place. Like, there's no reason for it not to exist elsewhere, right?
Intramural laser tag. I think it would be so cool to be able to send teams to go compete against other Unis teams.
100%. If you had your, what are they called? Like, the equivalent of like an A and B squad. It's like varsity and junior varsity. Is that right? Is that am I getting the
Yes, you've imbibed an appropriate amount of American culture through film and television.
I was trying to remember what they called it on Video Game High School. That's my only frame of reference for it. But yeah, you're right. Like, it would be really cool to have like collegiate laser tag. That'd be awesome.
For now, we're just trying to get everyone into it, though.
Yeah.
So we've actually minor spoilers for January for anyone who's listening in from the club. Our first event, it's usually our least attended one, so we've turned it into a laser ball tournament. So small laser ball It'll be very exciting. I'm very excited about this.
What's the
Working with,
format?
we're gonna be doing duos, 6s on 6s.
Ooh,
Wow.
It'll be.
nice.
I'm very excited for it. Get more people into laser ball. Because
When
once
in
they're in
Jan-
the laser ball, then you put them into Space Marines.
Can I hit this on the way back from Syracuse? On the way to Syracuse? When are you doing this?
When is Cuse? Cuse is the 12th, right? Because our event is on the 18th and 19th.
I like how you
Okay.
asked us the dates, and then I watched both Dan and DK go. Looking
Yeah,
for
one on the
dates.
calendar. Yes.
Oh, because I knew
January
I
12th through
down.
16th.
Yeah, I would have come to Cuse, but that is unfortunately syllabus week or first week in spring semester, so I can't make it out.
Mm.
Well, it
Yeah,
is for me too. I just said, forget it. I have more important things to do.
Yeah, but I feel like that there's a small power disparity in that in that there, student versus professor.
Also, I only teach online, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah. I prefer not to start the school year off failing. The semester off.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Yes, the
I
person.
haven't failed any classes so far, so.
Knock on wood.
Good. I expect nothing less from the president of Lasertag Club. So you said you got into competitive laser tag and you're hoping to get some other people from the club into it, but how did you decide to sort of move on to competitive laser tag and play in Space Marines 5?
So that is a very funny story. I was doing laser ball, as you do, and Luke Mischief shows up and he goes, "We're having Space Marines Mega Members Night soon." I go, "That sounds fun." I do get my wisdom teeth out on Tuesday the week before, but that sounds fun.
No problem.
Rolled in. I think I came for like two of the 3 days. Played 8 games. I was very intimidated by everyone, but you guys were all great. I was like, "Oh, that was fun. Maybe I'll come in on a Wednesday." And then I'm working a shift later that week afterwards. And Luke comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, we have a tournament in August. We just had a team lose a member at the last minute. Would you be interested in filling?" And I go, "Sure, if you can't find anyone with more than 8 games of Space Marines." And I think he stopped listening after sure, because I'm working the next morning and I get a text from Stu going, "Glad to have you on the team for internationals." And I go, "Oh, that's what I signed myself up for."
That's brilliant.
That happened on like the beginning of July. So I'm going, okay, I have 4 Wednesdays. And then 2 of the 4 Wednesdays we played no Space Marines. So I had
Ooh.
I looked at LM stats in preparation for this. I counted. I had 33 games of Space Marines going into like including the practice day before the tournament.
That's insane, man.
It was a very wild ride.
What's the vibe difference like between like the Space Marines kind of scene and even like the laser ball or like club nights? Like, what's that kind of vibe difference like?
Oh, so the club nights we're very casual. We're very chill. We're very much about getting the engineers outside of Boulder and talking to people outside of like their study buddy.
Yeah.
So
That's
those ones
fair.
are very chill. Laser ball's kind of in the middle where it's a lot younger of a game mode, so it's just we're all friends. It's a lot of staff. We've slowly been roping more people in, but just slowly getting people to play. It's pretty chill. Sometimes it gets a little competitive. There's some friendly rivalries. Space Marines, I feel like, definitely swings more into competitive, just because there are like opportunities to be competitive.
Yeah.
But it's been super fun getting to know everyone, getting better at the game.
Have you got a preferred role yet, or are you still kind of feeling it out?
See, I thought I got Stockholm syndromed into medic, but I do think I genuinely like playing medic a lot.
That's how it happens.
And just getting dragged around downstairs by Stu all week. Just all of a sudden, you're just like, you know what? I can get into this. Is fun.
Yeah, I got to do the dragging around because I played a lot of ball before the tournament. I think I was at like 80 laser ball games. So the first floor was much more of my home. So I think after night 1, I showed him where I was like, okay, that's the spot I go to. That's the spot I go to. This is a good spot to stand. Here's these.
Move over, old man. I'm taking over here.
I have you know, I've played over 30 games of Space Marines.
Yeah,
But if your
I'm-
team is
I'm
going to
very
have a lot of time downstairs, playing a lot of laser ball is a pretty good way to start learning the downstairs angles and all that, because you have to learn that a lot more quickly when you're playing laser ball.
Yeah, yeah. I put 3 into 3 hits quite often from Red Rock over to the green side ramp because it's such a weird angle that you'd never think to check unless you've played laser ball. Because in laser ball, that spot is so good.
It's like there's not many better feelings in Space Marines than putting 3 into a 3 hit without them like realizing. It's
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, it's better than a missile. In Gen 8, it's better than a missile. In earlier gens, a missile was great because they were hard, but in Gen 8, missiles are cheap. Whatever. 3 shots on a 3 hit, that's way better.
Yeah. Go ahead then.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah. Putting a 3 hit down, putting 1 3 hit down is good. Putting both 3 hits down is better.
Yeah.
See, I only ever saw 1 at a time. They'd only send 1 down after me.
Lazy. That's lazy play. That.
No respect for the medic. None
Holding the top
whatsoever.
floor.
I know. Weak sauce.
Have you only played LLT? For those who don't know, Loveland Lasertag LLT. Have you played any sites outside of there?
Still my only site. The laser tag addiction really only kicked in after I got the job and the laser tag became free.
That can happen.
But
yeah,
it's
okay.
I'm very excited to play at other sites.
Yeah. Oh shit! I had one. No, it's gone.
What were the highlights of Nats Week? Let's do that in terms of your Nats experience.
Oh, I think the biggest thing overall was just meeting everyone, because I like met them all at members night, but I was very scared of everyone. But just
Sorry.
over the course of the tournament, no, you were great. When you took me aside and showed me how to properly peek, that was a very amazing experience. I was like, oh, they can be chill. When they're not shouting at each other during the game.
Some of them.
We're still chill even when we're shouting at each other in game. It's the language of love, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like top 2 moments I can think of off the top of my head was the Syracuse game where Ray and Bean stood there and drafted the other team's lineup. I finally got a scout game in. It was amazing. I was free. I did not die out that game.
Good.
So
you
Nice.
managed to kick the ball and chain off that as Disco Stu.
yeah, I think the other one was like game 2 of our Elam match against Loveland A. I'm hiding downstairs, and I see John Calkins come down the green side ramp, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I can put 3 into this man's back, and he'll know where I am, but I'll have downed him. And without thinking, I put 3 in, and he just turns around and looks at me and goes, "Lizzy, come here!" And I'm just running away into the maze, going, "No, John, no!"
I think I've been roughing that game. That sounds familiar. So I'm just like, that was like the creepiest thing I ever heard Calkin say.
and then I'm hiding, and I get down, and I'm hiding because I trailed, and I just hear him walking around with his really squeaky shoes, going, "Lizzy, where are you? Lizzy, I'm gonna find you."
You know, there are definitely other contexts where that would be. I mean, it's creepy enough as is, but there are definitely other contexts where that would be even creepier. That's okay.
Yeah,
Was he like clinking 3 beer bottles together while he was doing it also?
Lizzy, come out and play.
That's awesome.
Oh, if only. No, I was very proud though. I checked the scorecard after that game, and I was 4-2 on that man.
Yeah.
Positive hit
Suck
diff.
it, Coggins.
It's like it's simply okay.
We don't have an HR department. I was gonna ask, did we ask you how long you've been president of the club for?
No, I've been president for just really the start of the semester. I got hired onto leadership as a freshman. I'm very shocked that they said yes. I had been at college for 3 weeks, and I'm sure that I was not good at being social or presenting myself. But they let me on, and then at end of spring semester, I got gifted the position.
That's awesome. And like, how long do you expect to kind of be in that role for?
Oh, I'm gonna stay here as long as they'll have me. So probably till the end of my bachelor's. If I go for a master's, till the end of my master's.
So what? That's like 10 years, no?
It's only 5 actually, because they have an
Alright.
accelerated master's option here where you can double count classes.
Oh,
She's actually a good student, Steve. So
Wow.
they actually finished their degrees on time.
I didn't go to university, so whatever. Hard to believe though, because I'm so well spoken. So right on. So you're gonna be, yeah, obviously in that role, like for as long as possible. Do you have like an idea of like how you would groom kind of the next person to kind of take that role, or that's way too far in the.
We kind of, the way it goes is you hire someone who's on the younger side with the intention of moving them in, kind of just see how they develop, how they grow, and then eventually once I'm close to graduating, I've got to pass the torch on, let someone else take over.
Do you guys ever thought about doing like club rings or something, like, you know, like, or further to that, like, do you guys do like club prize givings or anything? Is there any like awards kind of system for the year, or
It comes down to the funding. If we had the funding, we would, but laser tag, when you're bringing 60 people every other week, gets very expensive very quick.
It sure does. We periodically, every few years, I find that the Space Marines player base will do an account of how much we've spent playing laser tag over the entire period that we played laser tag, including traveling. Woo! that number gets pretty big pretty quick.
It's probably about as much as my education at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. See, not even factoring in the gas it takes to get from Boulder to Loveland and back to Boulder in a night.
How far is that drive?
It's about 60 miles round trip.
So like an hour ish.
100 Ks.
Yeah.
So it's like 100 Ks round trip, Steve.
Busy.
I feel like when I've been visiting the area, it's like, depending on traffic, like 45 minutes to an hour to get in between Loveland and Boulder.
Be like Brisbane.
Yeah,
or Gold
45 minutes if all the lights are green at 2 a.m. An hour if you got to fight your way through traffic to get in and out of the city.
What's this time of year like because obviously, you know, heading into winter and stuff, like, yeah, does it become like dangerous to do these trips? He doesn't know what a mile is.
We've had pretty good weather this year. Usually the bad weather comes spring semester. Like last year we had really bad snow just in Boulder, which was really unfortunate because I was texting my parents like, how's the weather up in Fort Collins? And they're like, oh, it's fine here. And I'm looking out my window and I'm like,
Not so much.
8 inches. I don't know if that's fine. But
God, do snow angels.
LLT is very flexible with us, and they let us just move our event from the time frame we had it and put it on the end of the year.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
That's why you convert it. Highlander tournament to see who the new president is. That's a great idea. Yeah. Do you guys play like tournament? It's not tournament. Do you guys play game modes like that? Like, or are you sticking predominantly with?
We occasionally play things like Highlander and Time Warp. It's just the elimination game modes are a lot more punishing on new players, and especially since we've been consistently pulling new players, especially like 30-person Highlander, people get out really quick, and the people who get out really quick are the ones who are the newest.
Yeah, right.
Generally speaking,
it's a little brutal.
So, would it be safe to say that among the non-basic advanced game modes, that Laser Ball is the most popular among members of the club?
Yeah, I think it's by far the fan favorite, so we end up doing it for each group every time we go. It's kind of just a little silly little staple.
It's kind of like
So what do you think makes that such a popular, attractive game mode for players who are coming into the scene?
I think it just helps having that team aspect where if you don't like going out, because when you go out you're going to get tagged down. If you don't like going out, you can stay defensive, and have a better odds of winning your fight. But if you're like that super aggressive player who tends to be more experienced, you can go out, go hunting.
That's so rad.
It's you got the really good players trying to get their 100 block games. I personally have only ever done it twice.
Block games. That's
It
crazy.
kind of insane.
Well, when
I
you
got
have 30 people to shoot, you can
True.
tally up the blocks like that. That's easy.
True.
I got 19 steals in the last game.
I reckon
not a lot
like
of skills.
color
The ball to player ratio. is
Sorry,
low.
go ahead.
Not a lot of steals because the ball to player ratio is very low.
True.
But
I
blocks
Mm.
when
Yeah.
you got 35 people to shoot.
I find Color Conquest kind of good game like for large groups as well, because you can still have goals in that game as a competitive person, like the amount of conversion streaks or whatever.
Oh, it's so fun. I
Yeah.
love like a 30-person Color Conquest game. That's
Yeah.
like one of the most fun things about just like a huge Gen Pub game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we run that one almost every time just because it works so well with large groups.
Even like closest you got was 90 GRB group comics.
GRB Comics.
Group comics.
Both of us with the 90 block game on Saturday.
That's all
I
right.
got the scorecard saved somewhere, I'm sure.
So I don't know if they do it. I'm pretty sure they don't do it these days. But like back in our day, they used to do physical printouts of like score sheets and stuff. And so after every single game, young versions of us would be like, "Oh, can we get a printout? Can we get a printout?" And you end up with stacks like that big of paper
Yep.
printouts of, and I think for a lot of old time, like I've still got a stack somewhere hidden in my closet from,
Ages ago.
20 years ago. Yeah.
I finally had to dump like all of mine, but like just before I moved from California to Texas. Like I had straight up moved scorecards from California to New Zealand, back to California, and it was like, I need to not.
What's in
move
those
them
boxes?
cross
Important
country
documents.
halfway across the country one more time.
Got
So,
it
yeah.
safe.
No printed out scorecards. That's all kept online now. But the staff do print out like the monthly. Here's the top laser ballers. Here's the top for standard game modes.
That's such a good way as well of building like buy-in from club members, right? Like if you can, people love a ranking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
crazy that they do
climb the leaderboard slowly.
we again, that's how we kind of, I guess, like got our love for the game early on. Like we would go in and we'd see, oh, cool, for this week I'm 4th on the leaderboard. Sweet, that's awesome. And places don't do it anymore. I think they're really missing a trick because it's such a good way to drive buy-in,
Engagement.
Yeah, just membership. Like, yeah.
I definitely remember way back in the day in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
It was like weekly. You would have the your top. I think we'd print out the top like 50 for the week, and you'd have your top 50 for the month, and of course that one would stay static, until the new month rolled over. But yeah, you could see kind of on a weekly basis like where you had ranked up in like the last 10 games, and the last 100 one was the one they would switch out less often.
Yep.
And so you'd end up starting to like know people just like based on their code names. You might never have met them.
Yep.
But you knew that this motherfucker was ahead of me, and I need to go play like a couple of games so I can get my average up above, insert name of dumb motherfucker here.
Goku. 007. Sniper.
Yeah.
Well, if it isn't Dong Slayer 420, my old nemesis.
Oh, see, I'm the nemesis now. I'll go play with the pubs occasionally, and I'll walk out of games. Who's Lizzy Lizard? I'm just I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh, I gotta check my hit diff for this game.
Great feeling.
It becomes it's really funny when you do play those games and you've got like, you know, a shirt, like a player shirt on or something with your code name slapped across the back. People are like, oh, who's that player? And you kind of back against the wall trying to like leave the armory without, you know, drawing too much attention.
Like, yes, that's
Yeah.
me, the person who has spent too many hours of their life playing this game. I beat your
Yeah.
ass.
That I had that happen actually at my first club event I went to. I was so nervous about it. I went there, I showed up, and then I won the Advanced Shadows. And people in the club, a lot of the people who have been there have played for quite a long time because it's 12 events a year, 5 games at each event for like multiple years.
Right.
And I came in, I did really well in Advanced Shadows, and I'm like walking out of the briefing or out of the vesting chamber, and the ex president at that time, John Willard, yet another John in Lasertag, he goes, "Who the fuck is Lizzy Lizard?" And I'm like, just very shy, very stand there, just like I just wave, and then I just I walk away because I was so scared.
I'm gonna get you
because you were cool. You
Yeah.
walk away from the explosion in the background, being like,
Yeah, I
"Yeah,
was-
that's right."
There's
Yeah,
goosebumps
I
walk
was
away.
just too good.
You gotta do the goosebumps walk away. Shit,
You went from being the shy person, being like, "Hi, this is me. I'm gonna go over here now," to being the one who it actually engages the people and is like, "Hey, look what you did. You did a thing."
I now I chase after the people who are walking away after the game and go, "Hi, I'm Liz. I hope you're enjoying the night. Tell me about yourself."
that's awesome, man. It's such a positive thing, you know, like not everything in the laser tag community is positive because, you know, you get that with
No.
communities and stuff, but like it's so refreshing to see and to hear like the success that you guys are having and cultivating like your community in like a really positive way. Like, yeah, laser tag is cool and we all love to play it, but the main reason that you guys do what you do is to like help people come out of their shells. Like that, it's so awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the things I've been working on with the club because we have been around for so long and people have played for 4 years. That's a lot of laser tag, and they get very good, and then they start bullying the new people, and I have to go, okay, I know you're good at laser tag. They don't need to know you're good at laser tag when you put 40 missiles into them. You can chill
how
out.
else are they
You'll
gonna
still
learn?
win.
And we won
I
that.
don't know. It's yeah. It's the 40-person Advanced Shadows gets really hard for new people to learn how to missile because they're never up.
Yeah, it's just constant lights and sirens going off. Yeah,
How do you
Yes, and it's-
weird environment.
like in that role? How do you kind of deal with or combat like any of that kind of negative you know, personality type or you know, bullying or whatever,
Yeah.
like when it does inevitably pop up?
It's definitely something we've been working on and something we've been seeing more just because we have people who play longer.
Mhm.
But biggest thing, she's like, hey, this is chill. Especially when we have events that are like mostly new people. When we split groups, we'll be like, this group is Highlander. It's elimination based. Come play tag over here.
Yeah.
And they tend to sort themselves fairly well.
Mhm.
But my little act of rebellion thus far has been if I notice someone is trying a little harder than I think is necessary, especially if they're a player I know is good, I do a little bit of targeting. The more time they're down is the more time other people are up. So I'm like,
That's so awesome.
And
Okay,
You know what
this
it's
is
like?
player.
This is the way.
you've won enough laser tag. Let them win this once.
That's so good.
And
I
that
can recall
really,
a few instances back in the day, Tham, when you were working, where you would tell me, you'd be like, "Hey, DK, this one player is getting a little too big for their britches. Can you please
100%.
make sure you go missile them in the middle of the game?"
Yeah, 100% I would do that because I mean, obviously I can't do it while I'm working.
Mm.
You know, I don't want to get fired like Spike did. Yeah, we had somebody straight up get himself fired for fully playing on the clock, And it's like, okay, well, you're stupid. That's cool. But yeah, no, there would definitely be multiple times when I was working when somebody would be, not listening to my, not so subtle admonitions to, hey, you need to back off a little bit in these games. Other people need to have fun too, this, that, the other. And when they wouldn't, I would fortunately have little assassins like DK to be like, I'm giving you this game for free. Just go fuck them up. Just keep them down.
It's like,
I'm
yes,
gonna
free game.
well, and I definitely remember a couple of times where it's like, you're not logging in. I'm just gonna alt log you, and you're just going to target this person, and your eyes just lighting up and being like, okay. So
I'm not shackled to Disco Stew anymore. Let's go. No. Love you, Stu.
I don't usually beacon reset, but sometimes when I deem it's necessary, I'll do it.
The beacon reset.
That's part of the reason why I want to get like the competitive side set up for college for the club, because I think give them a place to work that off.
Exactly.
Go beat up on people who are also good at the game on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and then come to Saturdays and just be there for the vibes and to say hi to everyone and to run around and do silly shenanigans during the games. I mean, and not Camp Fortress and Chamber.
I mean, literally, like what you're describing with that, as far as like, the building the player pyramid, as it were, is 100% a conversation that we've had on this show multiple times, and we've had post tag multiple times, and seeing you guys doing it so successfully right now. I mean, like, you've built this huge base of the pyramid now. Like, you have this foundation, which is amazing, and so now you've actually got the scope and scale to, like, okay, so maybe there's 10 or 15 people out of these 60 that want to play it a little more intensely. Okay, well, we can build that up and see where that goes. And maybe they only go like one tier more intense, but they have that, but you have that option with the site that you have. And yeah, it's just so fucking good to hear. It really is.
Yeah, it's been very exciting, because some new people like myself are masochists. You can beat me up during Nats, and I'll go, yeah, I'll come play Space Marines next week.
Thank you. May I have another?
Yep. Yeah. But it's true, we do have a lot of people who just come mostly as a good excuse to hang out with their friends for 6-7 hours on a Saturday night, play some laser tag. And it's, I think the thing that's helped the most is just like, everyone, we're going nice and easy and chill and being kind.
I think if you set those expectations with the player base, like, then everyone knows the score, right? Everyone knows how they're supposed to conduct themselves, and what the goal, what the aim of the night actually is. Which, I think when like, some of us are extremely competitive, and
Guilty.
we can lose sight of the whole point of why we're there in the first place, and that's to go and have fun with friends or with people that enjoy doing the same thing. So I think having a sturdy figurehead at the top laying the law down is really positive.
Yeah, it also gets kind of hard to beat people up when A, there's like 35-40 people in the arena, and B, when everyone else is chilling and doing silly shenanigans, you kind of stick out like a sore thumb, and then you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't be sweating this hard in a game of Color Conquest.
You say that.
You say that,
How
but
will I
there's
build my streak to the max?
You say that, but there's Chivos to get.
When it's been like 7 minutes and you haven't been conquered, you're like, oh, can I last out the game?
Yeah.
Ooh, can I make it?
That's become like very much the focus here locally. Is anytime we play Color Conquest, there's a few of us who are like, all right, like, we are not getting conquered this game, and then it inevitably happens, and some of the angst that's come out of an otherwise pretty like social game is pretty funny. Have you ever had to kick anyone out of the club?
No, we haven't had issues that severe.
That's
It's
good.
part of the thing is we're also just a chill club. If it gets to the point where people are doing things like that would get them kicked out, usually they just get socially exiled. And since we're a social club, there's
So,
it's
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 a
more
lot of the
social.
jungle.
It's you don't drive an hour to go eat in an IHOP and then play 5 games of laser tag and then drive an hour back. Where
If you're not
so
into it,
they
right?
usually will just yeah.
Yeah.
People if they've gotten themselves into some hot water will usually kind of step back on their own.
Yeah. What
A certain amount of self-selection. Yeah, okay.
So what's like what is a night look like for you guys for the club, like on a Saturday? How does it kind of shake out?
Usually what happens is lots of panicking Saturday morning because people are adding and dropping as you do very last minute.
Yeah.
Our right stock person is excellent. She's great. She helps get everything figured out. But the goal is for everyone. You head out of Boulder around 6, get to the IHOP around 7. We do call the IHOP ahead of time. Sometimes it takes a lot of calls, but we do get them to pick up and we go, hey, we're coming in with 60, 70 people. Be ready. Yeah. We just socialize there, eat at IHOP for like 2 hours, then we go to Love and Laser Tag and play laser tag for 3 hours together.
And so, what time do you guys end up like home? You're home at like 2 a.m.
Usually it's about like 1:30, depending on if your driver has to like drop people off. But
Yeah,
it's a lot of time to ask when you have an exam the next week. But when you don't, what else are you going to do after 6 p.m. on a Saturday?
Yeah, drink? I don't think so.
At CU Boulder, they would never do that.
See, I always forget that the drinking age here is 21, right? What's the
theoretically.
Theoretically, yeah.
What's the average age of students? Like still like 18 to kind of 21?
Yeah, definitely around like if we're talking like average over everyone, probably like 19, 20, because people usually come in as like 17 or 18 and they'll leave 4 to 5 years later, depending. But
yeah,
it's very fun. We occasionally get grad students who come to our events and they usually have a blast.
Yeah.
Nice.
If not, look at everyone else and go, what children.
I mean, if you've watched this podcast at all ever, you know that is a very common refrain, at least from me and also my two co-hosts, where it's the I started playing before you were born. Well, that's fun.
I just want my bones scraped together.
2005.
You what?
I'm a 2005 kid, so there's probably a good chance.
Wait, born in 2005?
Yeah. Yep. My bones did scrape together just now.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Still a teenager technically.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So DK and I both started playing in '97.
Yep, sure did.
Just so you have some sense of scope and scale. And Steve-O, you're like 2000 when you started playing?
Yeah.
So yes, to put it mildly.
Cool.
So this is really what I'm here to do, is just make you guys feel old.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mission accomplished.
What's crazy is when people your age tell us how old their parents are. Yeah, that one gets
That's gonna go.
Yeah. That's so. Yeah. So, for anyone locally, how does one join the Lasertag Pancakes Club?
We do generally require that people, especially now that we're big enough, got to be a CU Boulder student. So any of you high schoolers out there listening in, come to CU Boulder, join the club. You get free laser tag for most of the year. It's pretty sick.
Oh, wait.
I mean, that is a pretty good incentive. I'm not gonna lie.
It was definitely part of the reason why I went to CU Boulder.
Oh my god.
If there were any college that were offering free laser tag during the year, like they would have instantly gotten me to go there as opposed to any other college. That would have been like not even a hard sell.
I applied to Ivies, CSU and CU Boulder, and I love my mother, but she works at CSU, and I cannot walk by her office every day on the way to class. So CU Boulder it was.
Fair.
Yeah, that seems entirely reasonable in that case.
Well, I mean, Harvard's all well and good, but do they have free laser tag? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Up your game,
Um,
Yale University.
Yeah, you have better academics, but I could beat you in laser tag.
Which one's gonna suit better in real life?
And speaking as an academic, I'd rather have the laser tag.
Oh my god. So wait, so do club members pay dues? Like, is that kind of how?
Nope.
Wow, so you just join the club and then you get free laser tag?
Yeah, we are limited by funding, but we get 9 free laser tag events. So there's 9 events, which covers, I think, like it covers most of the year. We have like 2 or 3 at the start of the year where we just don't have the money in time. But past that, I think our first funded one was like the 19th of October. So from the 19th of October to the end of the school year, all the laser tag is free. People just have to come, pay for the gas if they drive, pay for whatever they get at IHOP, and then we just go to LLT, go, yep, this one's paid for. The manager goes, yep, and then we go play laser tag.
As happens with all free laser tag, it gets expensive kind of quickly when you start tallying up those other things.
How much
Yeah.
a plane
Just,
ticket?
as long as you get yourself to New Zealand, the tournament's very cheap. Don't worry about it.
Speaking of which, have you given any thought to coming to Nats next year? Nats being held in Brisbane in August.
I am currently committed as a Lovelander. I'm hopefully gonna come play.
Oh man,
Gotta work a few more hours over the summer, but I fully intend to come and play
Very
and
nice.
hopefully not be medic and see more of the arena than the resupply corner.
I mean, in Brisbane, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, even if you're a medic in Brisbane, I can fully attest.
You may
will
see much
more,
of the arena.
You will see more of the maze than just the resupply spots on a pretty frequent basis. Yeah, that's just how Brisbane's arena is.
In the perfect world, I get to re-inflict some of the hunting down that I received.
You should definitely hit up the university and get them to pay for you to go. It's a recruitment drive. There's
I would.
a good young player base in Brisbane. I'm sure many of them have thought about their tertiary education and where they might end up going. Why not? Why not CU?
Yeah.
You see?
Get them all to come to CU.
CU.
And then play for CU's teams in tournaments.
Go Buffs.
Or novel idea. I mean, Brisbane, you do have University of Queensland right there. Maybe they should be starting their own laser tag club.
I mean, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, get on it.
Just a general call to anyone that is traveling from Colorado to Brisbane next year. Can I give you a bunch of money? You bring me some Buffaloes gear. Look at you, Lizzie. Just
I can arrange that.
Yes. At the moment, I've got I've got some Oregon Ducks stuff because that's my college team. For some reason.
There's plenty of merch here.
Sports fandom is so random to me. You're just I like the Oregon Ducks, the New England Patriots, and CU Boulder. Okay, sure, no problem.
Well,
as a student, as a CU student, I do get a lot of free merch.
Do you? Oh yeah. Let me. I'm. Oh my gosh. I'm giddy.
This was the T-shirt for being a freshman last year. I think it's got our fight song on the back too.
Fight CU
Just in
down
case you
the
don't know
field.
the football.
Oh my gosh. I'm really hoping that Travis Hunter gets picked up by the Patriots next year. It's gonna really make my year next year. Well, probably not, but it'll be nice. Yeah.
See, that's my flex. Is I went to a few football games and I came within probably 50, 100 feet of of Coach Prime and the rest of the team because I walked by the student section.
I love you, Coach Prime. I very much would love to. It's a real shame that our tournaments generally don't kind of match up with the football season, because we kind of miss out on a bunch of that stuff, and it would be really cool to kind of especially go to college sports game, because from what I hear, there's nothing quite like the atmosphere of college football in a stadium. Like, it sounds amazing.
It's very wild. Especially, I don't know if you've heard. We have Ralphie. She's our resident mascot.
Right.
They have her run, and people get very excited because Ralphie is very cute.
What is Ralphie? The buffalo?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very young buffalo.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
When she gets too big, we get a new Ralphie.
Uh-oh.
We're currently on this.
That sounds fairly ominous.
They all live.
Eat the previous together. Ralphie.
They all live on a ranch together. Don't worry, she's fine.
You wanted to know where buffalo wings come from?
No. She gets sent to a farm up north.
Farm upstate. We just send him up to Yellowstone.
She gets
to
too
join
big
the other
to get a new Ralphie. That's so good. That's such a nice way of saying such a shocking thing. That's brilliant. Poopies has already bought. Poopies has bought his tickets to Nats. Really? Wow, that's awesome. So there might be a pretty decent Loveland contingent coming to Brisbane next year.
This is what I've heard.
I don't know how much of it is confidential, but we are hoping to send a full team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very exciting too, because we've gotten lots of new players getting into it.
Yeah.
John Calkins and I have been doing some legwork, getting some staff into it. So we have some staff who are getting really into it. It's very exciting.
Which is very cool, because like historically, bar like Calkins and maybe like one or two other staff members, the LLT staff has been. Yeah. I'm not gonna say disdainful of SM5, but it has definitely not been a thing that they would voluntarily choose to do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think the Space Marines' reputation generally precedes the group on Wednesdays. But
is the perception just that they're like too intense, or that the barrier to entry is like too high because of the skill gap? What do you think is the?
I think it's mostly the skill gap, and there have been issues of Space Marines going into pubs and trying way too hard against the 6-year-olds on their birthday parties. But Luke and Josiah have been doing amazing work, kind of trying to reshape the culture and make it more welcoming for newer players.
Yeah.
Definitely. Luke and Saya, like some of the conversations I've had with them, like have been very, and Tucker also. I mean, we have to include all three of them in this conversation.
All of the OGs from Loveland.
all the Loveland OGs have kind of seen how bad and toxic their site and others can be, because definitely Loveland has had its share of toxicity over the years, as have we all. I mean, there's every site has definitely dealt with their share of it, but yeah, the level of effort that that Tucker, Saya, and Luke have put in to trying to eradicate that from Loveland as a generalized thing has been really great to see, and is definitely it's paying dividends. Obviously now that things are a little more welcoming, you can keep growing that base of players. So you can get more people into the upper tiers of the pyramid to play more competitive games. It's great.
Yep, I've actually been taking like a lot of just like notes from Space Marines, seeing where they've done well, seeing where things have like not worked out great, and I'm looking at the club and going, I see us going the same route. Let's try and fix this now.
Yeah, and it is
early.
It is one of those things that some of the things that go wrong are because people, people in groups. Unfortunately, there are some things that can tend to happen, but if you have the culture being set correctly from the top, which again has not always been been the case at our various sites. I mean, I know I can speak for Sacramento and DK. You'll agree with me on this, that we definitely went through a fairly long stretch of time where the player base was pretty toxic for a variety of different reasons.
Sure.
And that definitely did not help our player retention in any way, shape, or form.
No, but one thing that does help player retention is having the staff be interested in the advanced games, because they become the best evangelists for it. Say, hey,
Kind of have
you
to
seem
have
like
it.
you like laser tag.
Mm.
Maybe you should come out and play some of our advanced games sometime.
Yeah, I do promo Laser
Mhm.
Ball and Space Marines on shift quite often.
I'm sure you do.
I mean, it's such
Yeah,
an
it's-
asset to have, like, staff that genuinely care about playing the game, you know? Like, otherwise they don't, like, if they don't care, if the people that are there the most don't care about it, then why should the public, right?
Yeah,
Whoa.
I've been trying to get through to the club. After Nats, like the week after Nats was over, I actually was able to organize a bunch of the CU students to come in because it was like move-in week. So we came in on the Wednesday, and it was just 12 very new people. Some of them new to laser tag and like as a whole, and we just played Space Marines that day. And I think everyone there had a blast because everyone was equally confused.
Yeah.
There is something to be said for having everybody on an equally confused level with that game to start with.
Yeah.
When they're not just getting absolutely turned inside out by everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We actually just went through it here, building our membership numbers up. We were fortunate to have like a group from the weekend public games decide to all move into our advanced members nights all at the same time. So it was like 10 people all starting from ground level, and it means you can go there and there's not one or two people getting smashed by the entire player base. Everyone is learning and progressing at the same time, and it really helps with retention. And if you could tie that into building your culture at the same time, like, it's a pretty good place to be. You guys are just doing it on a scale that every single other site is extremely jealous of.
Very jealous of.
Through that.
Yeah, the dream is get them into the club early, get them playing the social games, get them playing laser ball, and then they hit junior senior year. Hey, there's a tournament. We could potentially send you to it.
For sure.
On that, do you have and maybe I don't know if your time in the club has been long enough yet, but like, have you had what's the term, like, previous alumni? Is that, like, have you had people come back who have graduated but still kind of kicked around the club? Or
Yeah, we definitely have a strong culture just of like how the club used to be, whereas the friends come together and someone graduates, hey, you still get to come with us. But we definitely do get some alumni who will come back, especially like ex-leadership will come back, keep playing, keep helping out.
wow.
They get to have their fun still. But I'm very much so hoping that we put them on a Space Marines team and then they go, this is fun, and they continue it after college.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Oh my god. It's fascinating to kind of see what you guys are doing, and it's got me thinking about just our local scene and how to kind of try and take what you guys are doing and replicate it here in some way. I think it would help if we had like a university tie-in. I feel like and like, maybe I'm speaking a little bit out of turn because I never went to university, but New Zealand university culture is a lot different than American. In fact, I think American university culture is completely different to most other places around the world, where you guys build this fandom, this like community, this like real hardcore bond with the university that you attend. And I think that it's such a good pairing between that and what we play, because we have that kind of same kinship with each other, and that same kind of love, or at least the ones that stick around have that same kind of love for laser tag. So yeah, getting getting the best of both of those things, whew, that's magic.
It's always so fun seeing new people come into the club and they're like, oh, it's gonna be like red versus blue all night because they've never played with like Laser Force, much less Gen 8 Laser Force. And they're like, this has a screen? I can change it. I go, it's pretty cool, isn't it? You should consider coming back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's I think, especially the three of us, like, I think sometimes we do forget just kind of how actually awesome the new packs are. I mean, all of us have been through multiple generations of packs, but even so, like, even the first time we saw the Gen 8s in 2018, like, there was definitely an initial, oh, one, why don't these look like what I'm used to? But then kind of like, oh, these, yes, these are better. The battery life is better. They shoot further and more accurately. They last longer. Cool. This, that, the other, and all that's, and yes, they do have a screen and you can select options and cool. That whatever. But we so quickly move into, okay, now how does this affect my Space Marines game? I think we forget sometimes just how much of a wow factor the packs themselves are for a brand new person who has never done tag before to be able to select all those options and to be able to customize their stuff a little bit.
I think that's where, like, Laser Force as a company are missing a trick a little bit, and I don't know if they've got plans to do it or what, but they really need to create some sort of app where you can have your membership linked to the app, and you can actually, like, a lot of phones have, RFID readers now, right? Like, you can have the ability to scan your membership card with your phone and have all of your player data appear. And especially now with the footstep tracker and, like, all of the fitness trackers stuff, like, having the ability to collate that data and actually utilize that data, I really hope they don't whiff on what they're creating, because yeah, exactly. Is it an app, Troy? You can tell me if I'm being obtuse, but, like, is it? I didn't think that they had made an app yet, because
let's go to the App Store right now.
If they haven't, it only makes sense to have an iPlay Laser Force app where you can, because I mean that brings home all of the use case for having a membership in the first place. Like, if you can properly track all your stats, all your games, your player history, all this time you've spent and invested in their system, if you can have a way of easily accessing that and, like, have it, trying to have it in a way that benefits you, like the health tracker, like, yeah. They need to do it. We've been talking about it a little while, but yeah, they need to do it. It annoys me that they haven't. But then, like, there's stuff that kind of links into like the club. You can kind of have, I don't know, you just spitballing, but, like, have like prize giving for the year, like, laser tag to the moon. We all, this is how many steps it takes to get to the moon. Sweet, we achieved that playing laser tag, or whatever,
I'm sure the club could do it. We have some people who just, I think they just run around the whole time.
How did you get to 2,000 steps? Yeah.
There's 30 people in there. How did you hit? How did you move that much?
Yeah.
I turn around and I'm already like face to face with someone else. I'm like, hello.
I have several concussions. I knocked over a pregnant lady the other week, so these things happen.
Yeah, thankfully we've been pretty injury free.
Good.
Only I think in recent club memory, at least, only one trip to the hospital for a cracked open forehead, but that was because they did advanced shadows with the lights in the arena off. So I'm not sure what the thought process was there, but that was before my time.
I tried to warn them.
That's a fun game for 10 people who played like 500 games in the arena. Maybe that's when you turn the lights off.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to. I don't think even with the like 150, 170 odd games I have in the Loveland maze, I would want to play a Lights Off Shadows in that maze, as I don't know it well enough, even at a walking pace, to feel
Yes.
comfortable moving in the dark.
And also, both of us have lost literal pieces of our head playing laser tag, and maybe we don't need to chance that again.
Soft. Game's gone soft.
Fuck off, Steve-O.
How many teeth are you missing, Steve? I don't think so. Would you back up?
Oh, from lasers? Don't know. None.
Yeah, one. I am missing a front tooth from lasers. So, yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears, baby. Right. Do you boys have any more questions? Like, normally we don't go this long, but I've been very excited to talk to you about, club. Just get to know you a little bit more, because obviously you burst onto our scene as this enigma, and so we won't keep it too much longer. But do you boys have any other burning questions for Lizzy?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think we covered all the things that we put into the group chat, saying, "Hey, here are things we're probably going to ask you," and we've covered all those and a few things beyond. So yeah, no, I think we're in good shape.
Have you got any like club pages or like anything that you want to share with the public?
I will post in the Resupply Discord when we get the merch store up and running. But
nice.
For now, the Discord is unfortunately it's CU students only.
Yeah.
Because
that's all good.
Fair.
University policies.
That makes sense.
For everyone else out there who is from not around CU Boulder area, go try and recruit the college students. They have some money and are willing to make poor decisions with their time.
That's right, my wheelhouse, baby.
Best encapsulation I've heard.
Yeah. Real quick question from chat. Lizzy, do you play disc golf? You ever played disc golf?
I do not play disc golf. I have a friend though at college. We do D&D together.
Yeah.
He's our DM, but he has tried. He has tried his hardest
to get you in.
The basics of it. But I'll just say, I've been a gymnast for 16 years of my life. Gymnasts are not blessed with hand-eye coordination.
I could have bet money that was the other way around. You might, as a gymnast though, you might actually secretly have a cannon, because it's not really about strength, but rather like technique for disc golf.
Yeah.
I get that.
See,
Nice
the issue is my eyes are bad. My
Me
eyes
too.
are bad. They don't see really well, so I don't actually know how far away things are.
Just spray and pray. It's all good. So part of Laser Force Internationals 2025, we will be having the second annual Laser Force Disc Golf Association tournament. The Dick Gold Memorial Cup will be up for grabs. We played our first tournament this year in Melbourne, and it was a ball. We had so much fun. So there is a large portion, I think, of the community that actually do play disc golf now and will be competing for that cup. So
Maybe I'll get my friend to train me here spring semester.
Yeah, take it home for him. Crack a ceremonial yoo-hoo in the
just
cup.
trade one disc golf lesson for a laser tag lesson. So there you go.
Exactly.
Be like, I'll teach you how to play laser tag properly.
That guy is so inconceivably busy, though. He's taking his it's like an astrophysics major. He's putting into 3 years.
Goodness me.
And he's doing he's doing an accelerated master's for a 4-year total.
Well, it sounds to me like he's smart enough to figure out a way to get away to play some laser tag to me. A genius like that's got to be able to figure that out.
That
budget his time efficiently.
Sounds like maybe the smartest person any of us have ever met, and only one of us have met that person. So, yeah. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you coming on and spending a little bit of time with us. I don't know about the boys, but it's very much made me excited about the future of not only laser tag in Loveland, but like our competitive scene going forward. I think you're doing some excellent work. So yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was very fun to plug the club for an hour and a half.
Our pleasure.
I mean, as soon as the merch comes out, I every week just see you at
This
Lasers.
is how we make our revenue. This is our revenue
Exactly.
to pay for
There it
Space
is.
Marines nights for the club.
Or
This is genius.
at least to bring like a club team to Nats. But yeah, see you at Lasers. That's the one. Old mate Merch Steve over here. He's always on the thing. Look, we're gonna do an outro. Just we talked about this. Kids, thank you for hanging out with us today. Hopefully you enjoy getting to know Lizzy as much as we did. I think we're up in the air about whether or not we have it. In fact, we don't have a show next week. No show next week.
You're busy, so there's no show next week.
It's Christmas party time apparently.
You're busy. I'll be in a turkey coma. Fan will be doing something, so no show.
Yeah, happy holidays and whatnot. Do they say that around Thanksgiving or whatever? Happy Thanksgiving for next
It's the start of the holiday season in the States, so yeah.
Something American festivities. We'll be back the following couple of weeks with the lead into sort of New Year's, Christmas, and that stuff. We'll let you guys know closer to the time what dates we are planning on taking a break over the holiday period. We'll keep you in the loop. If we could get a CSU team, it could be a mini CU versus CSU SM5 tournament. I mean, if you'd have been here before,
that.
Gotta watch the VOD there, Tucker. But for this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been DK.
I've been Fan.
I've been Lizzy Lizard.
Boom. Nailed it. Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you next time.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Go Buffs! Yeah!
Go Buffs!